Hello again guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at this guy, the Insta360 One X. I was actually on the Insta360 website about a month ago looking at this exact camera, had it in my cart ready to purchase because I had seen several videos about it from iJustine, from PotatoJet, from a bunch of different channels, and I didn't pull the trigger because I have a ridiculous backlog I need to make my way through. But then, a couple of weeks ago, they emailed me. Insta360 reached out and said, "Do you want to take a look at our camera?" And I said, "Yep." And so it arrived a couple of days ago and it's here sitting in a box. So let's talk about it. They've got a few different kits that they offer. They've got the basic one that's just the camera with nothing else. But then they've got one that has a memory card and another one that has a stick that you can put it on. I think the kit that they sent me is what's called the Creator Kit. So here is what was included. Of course, we got the Insta360 One X action camera, a 32GB SanDisk micro SD card, a little cardboard box that on the other side says it's a selfie stick. So this is an extendable pole that you can put the camera on. And then a multifunction bullet time handle, which is also a tripod. This thing is really cool. I've seen iJustine use this for like swinging the camera around her head in ultra slow motion. Really cool stuff. Looking forward to that. But for those of you not familiar with it, what is the Insta360 camera? What makes it so special, unique, and fun? Why would I want to take a look at it? Realistically speaking, 360 video, it's fun, especially if you have a VR headset. It can be absolutely amazing, but there's still not a whole lot of people that have those, so 360 video has not yet taken off. But this is a 5.7K 360 video camera. It does 18 megapixel photos if you want that, but some of the stuff you might be able to see here on the side of the box, it has flow state stabilization built into it. It can do cinematic slow-mos and bullet times. It can make the selfie stick, this little box, it can make the thing inside of it disappear, Wi-Fi preview and transfer so you can send it directly from the camera to your phone, Android, iPhone, iPad. Works fine with Final Cut. That's a big thumbs up for me. And there's also a desktop application. And the really cool thing about this, it's not just 360. You can have it zoom in on one part of the shot that you want to see. Zoom in, zoom out. You can go out to like Tiny Planet. Justine just put up a video about this, doing Tiny Planet animations using this. Ridiculously impressive camera. So I'm going to go ahead and start unboxing it. And if you're interested in checking it out, I think you can find it over on Amazon for about $400. The kit that they sent me is about $470. And as I was saying, I legitimately had this in my cart about to purchase it, but held off and said I'll purchase it later because I've got so many other videos to make. But when it showed up, I gotta look at it now. So inside of the box, this is the camera right here on top. We'll come back to it, but very nice size. It says connect to your computer on this little box, which is a micro USB right angle cable to full-size USB. This one looks like it might have a strap and a power brick in it. Oh, and the battery. So there's the battery. It does have Insta360 branding on it. And there are the specs. It is a 1050 milliamp hour battery. The other thing in here was the strap, but as you can probably see, the other end of the strap is a, I would say it's a tripod mount, but it almost looks like a 3/8 inch mount. Looks a little bit too thick to be a tripod. We shall see. And then up here, it says protective pouch and documents, quick start guide, warranty card, all of that fun stuff. So there's the protective pouch with a little lanyard. Very cute. So if you wanted to take it with you, just put it around your neck, have your camera, whip it out at a moment's notice. Of course, you got some stickers here, some other different stickers, instructions for capturing bullet time shots, what's included guide, and then a quick start guide. And a quick start guide that is very, very thick. I'm guessing that just means it's in a bunch of languages. And that's everything in the box. In the second box, this is the selfie stick, just to go ahead and get through everything. Should be very simple, very straightforward. It's a stick. It says Insta360 on it here on the side. Has that same mount on the end. Again, I think it's a tripod mount. It just looks very thick to me. But then you can just pull it out like this. And I think that you just kind of give it a twist to hold in place and then twist it back when you're done. It kind of tightens it up. Not bad though. Then the last item here is the multifunction bullet time handle, which has a little warning, safety first document. Warning, not to be spun at extreme speeds. Keep it down to 1 revolution per second. So don't try to be the cowboy lassoing something with your camera. But then here is the bullet time spinner handle tripod thing. That's really neat. And it's made by Surui. I did not know that. I don't think I ever made a video about it, but I have a tripod, a mini tripod made by a company called Surui. I'll try to remember to link to it down below. One of the best mini tripods I've ever had, and it's extendable. It has a really neat way that the tripod folds out. This does not feel anything like that. The metal feels very solid up here at the top, but the bottom section is all plastic. Then there's a part here that looks like it extends. Well, it looks like it should extend, but I'm not having any luck with it. I'll look it up later. It does have an icon on here for a lock and unlock, so if I twist it this way, you would think that it would lock. That does lock. It does keep it from spinning. Then I can unlock it this way. I can't seem to figure out how to get it to actually become taller or shorter though, because there is a section in here that looks like this should come up. I'll figure it out later. But you do have the 2 connection points, so you can put it on here, unlock it completely, and then spin it around. This moves, but then lock it down later, put it on the tripod head, and then have it stable, set down, ready to use on a table. Then you should also be able to mix these 2 together, like this to have a tripod, or like this to use it in the bullet time mode. Once the camera's on it, then you would do something. I almost killed myself. But then once you've got it all like this, you could spin it around with the camera on it. Again, don't go crazy. You will hit somebody. This feels not heavy, but sturdy. So don't hit somebody with it. Let's set up the camera before I break something. So here is the camera, if you've not seen it before. And actually this is my first time getting hands-on with it, aside from pulling it out of the package. It mentions here on the bottom, it only supports exFAT micro SD cards. To ensure normal recording, use a micro SD card with supported speed of UHS 1 and V30, so use a fast one. And actually down here on the bottom is the micro SD card slot. Not sure if you can see that. The camera looks like it's kind of far away, but then here's where you would actually screw it onto that pole or onto the mini tripod. Buttons on the front. I think this is the shutter button. This is probably the power button or the menu button. I'm going to use the manual so I know what I'm talking about. So on the right side, you have the micro USB interface. On the front, you have a microphone at the top. OLED screen, very nice. Shutter and enter button, and then the power and switch mode button with an LED indicator. On the other side, this is where the battery's going to go, battery hatch release. On the back, another LED indicator. Again, the other side of the lens, you've got the front and back facing lens. Microphone here at the bottom, and a speaker on the top. The guide also mentions charging it with a 5-volt 2-amp power brick, or that they sell a dock that you can charge it with. I'm just going ahead and putting the battery in, as well as the micro SD card here in the bottom. It says you can use it in standalone mode or with Wi-Fi controls, so it says if I press and hold the power button for 2 seconds, it should power on. There's that blue light. It says a firmware version. It looks like the battery is only about halfway charged. It's looking for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. When it's on, I can press button 2, which is the bottom one, to switch camera modes. Right now it is in photo mode. If I tap it, it switches over to video mode. It says 40 minutes of time, 5.7K 30. Then there's the settings button, and then back to photo. In settings, if I hit the other button, it goes in here to tell me what I can do. In the photo menu, I've got standard, HDR, interval, timer off, raw off or on. Then if I switch over to video mode, standard, bullet time, time lapse, HDR, 5.7K 30, 4K 30, 4K 50, 3K 100 FPS, or 5.7K 25, or 5.7K 24. I'll probably stick with 5.730 just for now. ISO auto, but you can say less than 400, less than 800, less than 16. Shutter auto, fast, faster, and auto. Log off. I'm guessing that's sort of a log profile to make the image look a little bit flatter for color grading. And then over here we have Wi-Fi. You can turn the Wi-Fi on and off, set the password, get the channel, and it does provide you with a plain text password in that menu. And just to see how it works, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick photo. There we go. That should have been 360, so maybe I'll pan around while I'm talking here so you can see just the horrible mess that is my current filming space. Now I hit the video button. I should be able to do the same thing. Hit the button here, and hopefully now it is recording. If I'm able to control this with the phone later or with the app later, you should be able to just see me, but then I can pan around the scene and you can see other things in the room. And speaking of using the app, I have gone ahead and downloaded it here on my iPhone. It should be available for both iPhone, Android, and iPad, but I think if I click on the camera button here, it says connect via Wi-Fi, connect now. Please choose your camera. It just came up, no questions asked. It's asking if I want to allow it. Sure. That was painfully simple. Wow. Assuming that everything connects and everything works. It should be using Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to make that pairing connection, but a lot of times you end up having to like select the camera and then type in passwords and then fight with this, and I can see a live view of the camera. That's really cool. It says the preview screen quality is compressed, and it's saying live 360. To start live streaming, connect the camera to your phone via a cable. Don't want to do that. If I switch over to video mode, I've got the mode settings here. I've got bullet time settings, HDR options, stats. After recording, click more and add a GPS and stats and all sorts of fun stuff there. Well, for some reason it decided to take another video. It looks like it just updated the date and time and started auto recording for some reason. So this first one I did says that it was on 2018-1-1, but at 17 seconds, and if I click on it, there is the video, and I can swipe around in here. I can zoom in on what I want to see up to a certain point, swipe around, see everything from 360. I don't even see the camera. I just see my fingers holding it, see everything around me. Hit the download button just so I could go ahead and get the video on my phone so I can turn the camera off. It needs to charge. After it finished saving, it says set pivot points to mark off key parts of your video. They'll be connected with ultra smooth camera movements. Hit pivot point to add a pivot point. Set a second one. Now you've set 3 pivot points. Press to see how it turned out. And that is one of the things that's so cool about this camera, because during that scene, I'll be able to go back and look at the 360 footage that I've got here, make changes to it, pick out my exact framing that I want, have it ultra smooth and ultra stable. I'm really looking forward to this. So it says import success. Looks like I'm at 9:16 wide, but if I tap on this, it goes by 9:16. Then I go 1:1 wide, 1:1, 16:9 wide, 16:9. Looks like it went in a little farther, 2.35 to 1, so you can get a little more cinematic, and back to 9:16. I'm gonna stick to 16:9, but you can see, especially once I turn the phone the other way, you can see exactly what I'm framing. I can move it around in this way just by using my finger, and it looks like if I just put my finger over here and push down a little bit, it gives me the option of the viewfinder, pivot point, or smart track. I'm gonna try the smart track option. That should have it track me. Now hit stop track. I'm gonna spend some time with this and I'll give you some samples here in a minute. And we're back. I've done a few tests with the Insta360 One X, and honestly, this thing is super cool. Not great in low light, but as you can see from some of the footage here, I took it out for a ride on my bike and I could very easily frame up the shot after the fact. Some of the stability in the clips that you're seeing here has to do with the fact that I had it on the handlebar of the bike on the stick on top of that. So it was just very unwieldy like that. It should be closer to the frame of the bike. The handlebars on my bike are not terribly high. Therein lies the problem. But I was able to get this awesome time lapse, and then when I got back, I took the bullet time handle and did a very quick spin around with it. Literally took me like 10 seconds to just do that. And then in terms of editing, I've actually been using the desktop app for all of it. Did a little bit of it on the phone, and I really just preferred the way I was doing it through the desktop app. If you'd like to see a tutorial for how I do it with the desktop app, I can definitely go ahead and make one of those. But for the most part, it's just bring all the footage into it, hit the free capture button, and then put a bunch of keyframes in, tell it exactly what you want to see, be it zoomed in on your face or spinning around from one point to the next or tiny planet. Hit all of those things and then hit export, and that's about all there is to it. Again, the more light you give a camera like this, the better it's going to do so in bright sunlight summer days. It's going to be amazing. Low light, beginning of fall type days like it is right now, leaves a little to be desired, could be better. But for what it is, set it and forget it, turn it on, and when you go back later, you can frame up the shots exactly how you want them, and the footage, for the most part, turns out ridiculously stable and smooth. That's absolutely amazing, and something I would not have thought possible just a couple of years ago. So that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. This is my first impressions of the Insta360 One X camera. Definitely looking forward to using it a lot more. Gonna take it with me when we go on vacations and just see what else I can make with it. Thank you guys as always for watching. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up down below the video. Hit the notification bell. Probably have to hit the subscribe button first if you haven't done that already. But hit the notification bell if you want to get notified when new videos come out. I'll see you again next time.